All right, let's begin. I hope everybody is staying safe at their own home. Right now, I am as well. My kids are all upstairs, so hopefully they don't rush down and start making a lot of noise. And my name is Jeffrey Wong, and thank you for coming on board today. We're going to talk about a booming business that you can do online. Okay, so I know that I understand a lot of us are stuck at home and are reduced hours. We're not making as much as we want or nothing at all. And I really highly respect the people in the healthcare that are risking their lives to help other people on the field. And what I wanted to share with you today is about a business opportunity where it has helped myself, helped my family, and we're just reaching out to everybody we can through social media, through technology, just to give you an opportunity to see if this is a right fit for you and if you're a right fit for us. Okay, so again, for those of you who just logged in, my name is Jeff. I got a little bit about myself. I got 4 boys, married for 15 years now, and life can be very crazy, hectic, and expensive, especially if you're living in the GTA. You know, nowadays, anything less than 100,000 is hard to really, you know, get ahead. And the only way to do that, to make 6 figures and multiple 6 figures, is if you work for yourself. All right. So today, what I'm going to do is talk about who we are, what we do as a company, the services that we offer, the opportunity, how you can make money. And keep in mind a couple of things is if you know someone who would be interested as well, you can always send them our way through whoever invited you to today's session, and maybe look at it upon yourself. Maybe this is something you can do as well on the side. As a senior broker, there's a lot of people that I'm training right now, and a lot of them have full-time jobs. They're doing you know, engineers, teachers, nurses, and they don't mind working on the side, like a side hustle, right? So we are in the financial industry, and hopefully you get to learn a few things today with us. At the end, there's a feedback form. Well, it's going to be on the screen, so hopefully you can write down what interests you, and the person who invited you will give you a call back and set up a follow-up session. All right, so let's begin. Okay, here, perfect. Okay, so this is our company, World Financial Group, more commonly known as WFG. And again, we're all about being a financial service business owner. Okay? So first things first, I know a lot of people like to search up companies and see if it's, check out the credibility. Well, here you go, check this out. This is Aegon, that's our parent company. So Aegon is a multinational insurance pension asset management company located in the Netherlands. They have around 28,000 people employed worldwide, and they own different companies around the world, right? Aegon is also part of what's called the Fortune Global 500. These are the top 500 companies in the world. If you work for a company and your company is on this list, it pretty much means you're too big to fail, all right? So when you talk about stability, credibility, Aegon is among the best of the best. Aegon is currently ranked at 139 out of 500. Okay, so just to give you an idea, the strength in our backing. On their website, Aegon, under Canada, that's where we come in, World Financial Group. Okay, so we're an agency distribution channel in Canada. Sponsorships. So these are just some of the sponsorships that the corporation has been taking in charge of just to promote the branding. One of them is the Toronto Argonauts. So whenever they play in their season, they'll wear our logos on their uniform. This is women's curling. Olympic gold medalist Jennifer Jones and her team, when they're performing, they wear the logos here. And these are in the US, they sponsor 2 professional golfers. When they're on tour, they wear the logos here as well. All right, just a little bit, some fun facts here. This is our head office in Canada. It's actually located in Toronto, North York, Yonge and Sheppard, 5000 Yonge Street. And this one is the home office in Atlanta. And combined, if I can just zoom in closer so you guys can see better, We have around 60,000 licensed reps already. Some are full-time, some are part-time. Um, and, uh, and like I said, we're constantly expanding and looking for quality people. So if this is a right fit for each other, then let's work together. Okay, strength. These are some of the strengths on our side. We are partnered. Okay, so think of us like a Costco, a wholesale company, and we're brokering out to all of these major institutions, financial giants, insurance companies all across Canada. So whatever they have to offer as a service, that's what we have to choose from. Okay, so we deal with everything. I call it from the womb to the tomb. All right, and whatever people need, whether finances are great or finances are not great, there's a solution for everybody. And these are some of the giants that we are partnering with, and they will handle your accounts. And all we do is we're in a position to help you research and pick and choose what's best for you. Okay, and then you decide, and these big companies will pay us for the service. So the way I see it, it's a win-win situation, meaning we don't have to charge you for any advice. Okay? And this is what we do. This is called the financial needs analysis. Most Canadians have never done one of these before. And I wanted to encourage you guys to get one done because it's very important. You know, think of it like an oil change. You can't keep driving your car without ever having a tune-up or a maintenance, right? So same with your life. Life will always change, evolve. Look at the ways that life is right now. We're all financially affected by the market or job loss or lack of hours. And you need a course correction along the way. And we're here to help. Okay, we have a solution for everything. So the 6 areas that we focus on to help you improve is number 1, cash flow, right? If you're not earning enough, no worries. We're here to help you out with that area. We can also help you manage your expenses. Debt management. So if you know someone who is struggling with debt, drowning in it, and you know all their monthly payments are almost all towards interest, there are companies out there that can help resolve it. Okay, you can qualify up to 80% reduction, and the remaining balance 0 interest over a 5-year period. How cool is that, right? Number 3, emergency fund. We teach you how to save at least 3 to 6 months of income. Isn't it a great time now to be able to say you have 3 to 6 months of income? Because I know a lot of families right now, they're struggling paycheck to paycheck, right? So that is to prepare for unexpected expenses. Guess what? Right now, we're in the time where it is unexpected, right? And it's very good to very comforting and peace of mind to know that you have a buffer. So if you don't have that set up yet, we can help you with that as well. Number 4, proper protection. Protect against loss of income, protect the family assets, right? I've got 4 boys. I have my wife, I got my mortgage, my car payments, all of that stuff, right? So if my income were ever to slow down or to stop because I'm injured or I get disabled or if I pass away, I want to make sure that all my bills are cleared. My kids will all have enough money to go to school. My wife doesn't have to work 2-3 jobs just to keep up, right? Like I said, in Toronto, it's so expensive to live here. There's a lot of people can't even afford to take care of themselves. Don't expect them to take care of you, right? Building wealth. I'm going to show you in the next slide how banks make money, right? Because if you just leave your money there, it's a death trap, right? It's not going to grow much. And all you're benefiting are the major institutions, right? The banks make billions of dollars every single year. So I'm going to show you how they do it and how we can get a piece of that back, okay? Preserving wealth. So as you know, we pay a lot of taxes in Canada. We're one of the highest tax countries in the world. Not to say that it's necessarily a bad thing. You know, we get the healthcare, they repair our roads, all those services, right? But still, there are ways where you can minimize the taxes you have to pay, right? If you know how. So we can share with you as well on those strategies. So of the 6 things in these areas, you want to keep in mind, if you have a notepad, write down which ones are most important to you, and then let the person who invited you know, and we can help you out. All right. This is a very important concept I want to share with you guys. It's called the Rule of 72. Okay. I don't know if you've heard of it before, or if maybe you have, maybe you haven't. So let this be a basic training session, okay, on financial literacy. If you Google this later, you're going to find the exact same formula out there. It's not a secret. Albert Einstein calls it one of the wonders of the world, and it tells you approximately how fast or how slow your money is going to double. Okay, so when you take this rule, this number 72, okay, and you divide it by the interest rate that you would get at the bank. Okay, let's say you bank at, you know, TD or CIBC, whatever it is, and there's a promotion going on, and they're offering everybody a 2% account. Okay, so it may sound enticing because mostly our checking accounts don't offer much, but let's find out what's 72 divided by 2. That's 36. What does that mean? It means you have to wait 36 years for your money to double, right? So if you have $10,000 today sitting at a 2% account, 36 years from now, your 10,000 will approximately double to 20. In 70 years, it'll double to 40, right? I don't know about you, but I don't think I have another 70 years to wait. My kids do. They'll have 1 or 2, hopefully, but I don't think I have any 70 years left, okay? So as you can see from this scenario, it's a very slow, painful way to grow your money. Now, on the flip side, what do you think the banks are doing with your money, okay? While your money's sitting here, unknowingly, they're gonna move it over and grow it at a higher rate. How? They lend it out, charge other people 20% on credit cards, mortgages, they invest it into the market. If you think the market is doing bad right now, it's actually a very good time to buy. You want to buy low, sell high, right? You don't want to buy high and sell low. So guess what the banks are doing right now? They're investing into the market right now. Best time to buy. Think of it as a Black Friday sale on the market, right? So let's say on average, they make 6. So 72 divided by 6 is 12, every 12 years. So while your money is doubling every 36 years, the banks would have tripled it within the same time frame. Isn't that crazy? So your 10,000 will double to 20 in 12 years. It will double to 40 in 24 years, double to 80 in 36 years, and so on, right? But which side are you on? Most of you are here, right? So guess what happens? Let's say 35 years from now, you're about to retire. Your money's grown to 20,000. The bank will be more than happy to write you a bank draft from this amount over here, from the 80. So 80 minus 20 is 60. 60 grand they just made from you without even knowing. And imagine this is one customer, right? So how many people are in Canada right now? 35, 36, 37 million and counting, right? That's a lot of zeros you can add to the end of the 60,000. And this is what they do. Banks are in business. They're here to make money. Therefore, they have 2 priorities, right? One, the first priority is to make money no matter what. Number 2 is then to service you if it fits your need, right? What I love about being a broker, working at World Financial Group, is our priorities are the opposite. Number 1, we're focused on educating you, the family, making sure you know what the right options are, and then you decide. Once you decide, we get paid, right? That's a totally opposite spectrum to look at, and it's very important to know your options, right? So these are just some of the things we teach to our associates who work with us. Okay, building a better business, right? So for myself, I don't know what career background you have. It could be all over the place. For me, I was just a student. I studied at Ryerson, I studied business, and I started part-time from this firm right away. And the reason why someone like myself with no career experience whatsoever, no life experience, to be able to do decently well here is because we have a system, right? Everything is taught here. So that means you don't need to have a background in finance, business, or even sales, okay? The only thing you have to bring to the table that I cannot provide for you is a high level of desire to win big, okay? So if you're okay making 5-figure income, that's fine. Any job will provide you that. But if you want an opportunity to make six figures, multiple six figures, you have to find a way to work for yourself, okay? I believe in Canada right now, there's around 15% of Canadians roughly are making 100,000 or more. That's it. And most of these 15%ers are who? Business owners, entrepreneurs, self-employed people. The remaining 80, 85% that are making five-figure income, they will never see a six-figure income in their whole life unless you work for yourself, because who's working for who right now? The 80, 85% is working for the 15%. So which side would you rather be on? The 80% or the 15, 20%, right? And like I said, everything, all the training material, all the training tools is provided for you here. All right, expanding your business through training and events, okay? Of course, now we're on a travel ban, right? But once that's lifted, I just want to share with you exciting opportunity to go travel, right? And this is a snapshot of our annual conference in Las Vegas. 50,000 people every year. We fly in all across North America, and we stay for 4 days, and we learn from all the institutions, insurance companies, finance, business moguls, all that stuff. And it's amazing, because once you see the power of the growth and the opportunity here, you wouldn't settle for anything less. Okay. All right, so here's the fun part. This is how you make money. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in right here for a little bit. Okay, if you have your calculators with you, I'll give you like a couple of seconds to pull it out, only because I want you to know where these numbers come from. And that way you'll see the possibility, okay? Now, like I said earlier, banks are making billions of dollars, right? So it wouldn't be a surprise if agents like myself and other people who are making multiple six figures, seven figures in this industry, think about it. What's $500,000 if the banks are making $1 billion, right? It would be suspicious if, let's say, you're a teacher making $500,000, right? Or maybe if you're a registered nurse making $500,000, not that they don't deserve it, but if you're a nurse and your coworker is making $500,000, you'd be questioning what the heck they're doing, right? But in the financial industry, guess what? We're the second highest paying industry, okay? And you're gonna find out exactly why that is. So now with that, for those who have your calculators with you, I want you to follow this scenario with me, okay? So this scenario is based on an average insurance policy sale to an individual who is contributing $175 a month to the policy, okay? So what this means is, let's say you help out a friend on the weekend, set up an account, and this account goes towards long-term savings, long-term protection, the important things that I talked about earlier. And so how much can you make from this transaction? So this is what you do. Step number one, you're gonna take 175 multiplied by 12 to get the annual premium, okay? So when you do that, $175 times 12, that gives you $2,100, okay? Step number two, the insurance company will take that number and advance you a 60% commission on top, okay? So if you multiply the 2,100 by 60%, add it back to 2,100, that gives you roughly 3,300 over here, okay? This is what it will yield. So what this means is when you set up an account like this, the insurance company will send 3,300 over to World Financial Group, the broker firm, and then you, as a part-time associate, you get a piece of the pie, okay? So how much of this will you get part-time? Your contract will be set at 36%, okay? So 36% of this number, what would that be? That's roughly $1,200. So $1,200, not bad for part-time, right? So imagine this, what if you do this 4 times a month? That's 1 a week. Why? Because most of us, like yourselves, maybe you're working 40, 50 hours a week. You don't have time during the weekday. Maybe you have time on the weekend for another hour or two. Set up an account, an extra 1,200. So if you do that in a month, that's 4,800 a month, right? In a year, on average, that's 58,000 a year. Imagine an extra 58,000 on top of your earnings, right? So what are you gonna do with this amount? You're not going to spend it. I hope you don't. I hope you use it to save up. Maybe you want a down payment for a home, pay off your mortgage, pay off your children's education. Maybe you have aging parents you need to support. Travel, maybe, right? But yeah, that's money that you wouldn't have encountered anyway, right? So whatever, think of it this way, whatever you're doing now, that's paying for your bills. Whatever you're making over here, save it, okay? And make it grow or pay down debt, whatever it is, right? So that's what you can do part-time. Now, what if you want to be full-time? Senior marketing director. So this is where I am as a senior broker. What this means, it just means you're in a position to train now. You're training and developing other licensed associates. And of course, they're going to pay you more because it's taking more of your time, right? For those of you who have jobs, it's like your manager. Doesn't your manager make more than you, right? That's because they have more responsibilities as well, right? So how much more can you make if you're the senior marketing director doing this exact same scenario, right? So from this scenario, your contract as a senior marketing director is 66%, okay? So 66% of this number is 2,200, okay? So think of it this way. If you're part-time, you will make 1,200. If you're full-time, 2,200, right? So imagine now you do this 4 times a month. That's 1 a week. Same scenario, but instead you now make 8,000 a month. That's 100,000 a year, 6-figure income, right? So what I want to share with you briefly is what the company will do when you hit your first 6-figure salary, okay, or earnings. They love to award milestones, and one of the milestones they will provide for you is this. I'm just going to show. If you can look at my camera over here, I'll do a little close up. Okay, so this is called the 100,000 Ring Club, right? So it's a white gold sapphire crystal, right? And on this side, they will engrave your last name. So my last name is Wong, right? And at the bottom is the year 2013. So since 2013 till now, the company's paying me about 700,000 already. But the fun part is I only work 20 hours a week, right? So as you can see from this scenario, I don't have to work 40 hours. I don't have to work 50 hours. That's why when I train and share with people the opportunity, I'm sharing with them, don't just work hard. You got to learn how to work smart, okay? We all have the same 24 hours. Why are some people making very, very good money? They're playing golf during the day, no worries, and everybody else is working minimum wage, right? Same 24 hours is what you do with your time, right? So what I've just shown you is what you can do on your own. Now I'm going to show you how to earn from the efforts of other people. Sounds evil, right? But guess what? Your boss is doing that already, isn't right? They're hiring you, they're paying you a wage, and whatever they're paying you, do you think they're losing money or they're making money, right? Of course they're making money. Otherwise, why would they be hiring you, right? So that means your job, whatever they're paying you, is to directly or indirectly bring more money back to the business, right? And they keep the difference. That's called the spread. That's called the override, okay? That's another word I want you guys to write down, the word override. It could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing, depending on which side you are on, right? I've never met anybody who is overriding to complain, but I've met a lot of people who are being overridden, complain a lot, right? So if you ever feel like you're overworked and underpaid, that means you're being overridden, right? So this is now, I'm going to share with you a position to build a business where you can earn from the efforts of others. So this is the example here. If you become the senior broker, and now you spend about maybe a month to develop a licensed associate, get them licensed, train them, and they all perform this scenario. Guess how much this associate will make? 4,800, right? That's what we worked out earlier. But what is your benefit? Your benefit is the override. That is this number minus this number, the spread. Your 66 minus their 36, you get the difference, right? So what's the difference between these two numbers? 4,000. 4,000 is your override. Now, if you ever have a job, do you think you're the only employee? Most likely not, right? Your boss has many employees. That means they'll have many sources of overrides. Here, you can do the same. If you're earning 4,000 from one associate off the override, off the spread, what's stopping you from developing 5 licensed associates maybe, right, in this scenario? So if all 5 licensed associates all do this, now you're scaling your income. You know the best example of a company that has unlimited potential earnings by scaling their income? Uber. Uber is the best model to look at, because if you're the owner of Uber, think about it. How many drivers, how many part-time, full-time Uber drivers, doesn't matter. How many drivers are on this planet working for Uber? And whatever they're making, Uber gets a piece of the pie, right? So by definition, that's unlimited income. Here is no different. So if you're developing 5 licensed associates and you're earning 4,000 from the override, then what's 4,000 over 5 associates? That is 20,000 a month. That's $250,000 a year, right? Sky's the limit. Over here is a combination of the two. You go out and help 4 families a month yourself, plus your override, that's 29,000, that's $349 a year, right? So now that you see what's possible, let me tell you what's required. What's required is you got to get a license, got to get certified, right? In the financial industry, we're highly regulated. Think of it like real estate. I can't help you buy a house if I don't get a real estate license, right? Here, you need to get your investment license, insurance license. And right now, altogether, it's with the materials, the exam costs, all that stuff, it's about $400, right? Not bad, $400, and you get an opportunity to start earning right away. So you got to get certified, number one. So I believe it's a multiple choice exam, 60% to pass. So if you can pass it, you're good to go, all right? This is a poster, 100,000 Ring Club. So what I just showed you is, I also call this the minimum wage ring, okay? Because this is just the first stepping stone when you get recognized. Right now, I'm reaching towards this one over here, and they're gonna replace this stone with this color, ruby color, and that represents $250,000 in 12 months, okay? 12 months. These are all 12-month increments, not 12 years. Then there's $500,000, $750,000, $1 million, 1.5, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and 5 million, right? But remember, how much do banks make every year? Billions of dollars, right? So what's $1 million, right? So right now, my mom became one of the CEOs in this firm, right? She worked her butt off, and she's now one of the CEOs. She has this one right now, right here, 1.5 million in 12 months, okay? That's her earnings, 1.5 million. She's a millionaire, right? And the funny thing is, when you put it into perspective, what takes me a whole year to make, how long would it take her to make 100,000? Takes her about 25 days, right? Imagine every 25 days you make 100,000. That's about 25,000 a week. That's about 3,000 a day, right? Imagine waking up every morning, a $3,000 deposit into your bank account, right? Would you be that eager now to go back to work, right? Or would you be more inspired, to get a house, down payment, pay off your debt, whatever it is, right? You can do so much more. I believe that life is not about working 9 to 5, 40, 50 hours a week. We're all put on earth to enjoy life, not to pay bills, right? And like I said earlier, the only way to do that is if you work for yourself. Lastly, these are just some people in our industry, in our firm, who are earning at least $500,000 or more. These are people that we learn from, that they come to Toronto, they travel across to train us, all that stuff, right? We get to learn from the success of other people. But what I want to emphasize up closely is where they're from and their previous career. So for example, if you look at this person from Edmonton, he used to be a nightclub manager. This lady from New York used to be a fashion design student. This person from Vancouver used to be a system engineer. We have students, right? Registered nurses, US Marine Corps, another engineer, right? So just to name a few, as I skim through this list, we've got a cab owner from Edmonton. From Ottawa, this guy used to be a police officer. This person was an auto mechanic. So really, like I said earlier, we have a system in place to train and develop you, right? And as I go towards the end, up close, right? Teresa, Tang, Wong, and Jack Wong. That's my mom and dad, right? From Richmond Hill. She used to be a banker. And just a little bit about her accomplishments that I'd like to share is that she's the first female in the whole company to reach $1 million a year. And she's still currently the highest female earner in WFG Canada, right? So if you want to learn about business, working smart, financial independence, work ethic, you got to learn from these people, right? And lastly, there's two quotes that I want you to read over. This is designed to either intrigue you or disturb you, okay? So the first quote I want you to read on the screen is this one, okay? If the camera image is blocking the words, you can take your mouse and move it over, all right? So the first one here, it says, if you don't build your dreams, someone else will hire you to help build theirs. Right? I want you to think about that for a second. When you're working for someone, the 40 hours, 50 hours that you're putting your time into, that is paying towards the owner's kids to go to private school, right? The 40, 50 hours that you're putting your efforts into is paying for the owner's fancy homes, fancy vacations, fancy dinners. So if you're going to put a lot of time helping one family that you don't even know, or you may not even meet, why don't you put in the same effort to help your own family instead, right? And like I said, you got to work for yourself. This is my favorite one from Warren Buffett. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Sounds pretty harsh, right? Harsh, but true. That's the reality. I don't know too many people that are working 9 to 5 who can even afford to retire, right? Because when you retire, you're going to be expecting to live off a fraction of what you used to make, right? So if you're struggling right now, paycheck to paycheck, what makes you think you're going to be okay with a fraction of that, right? So you got to have a backup plan, ladies and gentlemen, right? An exit strategy. If you love what you do right now, awesome. Keep doing what you're doing, but have a backup strategy in times, especially like now. If you don't have a backup strategy, then you're going to be in trouble, right? So this is the last part, a feedback form. So you can take a screenshot of this. You can write it down on a piece of paper, just to hear back, get some feedback based on what you heard today, based on what you like, what you don't like. And whatever interests you, you can write down out of these 6 options here. You can write down more than one. And just to give you an idea, the first 3 talks about being in business with us. If you feel that this is the right time to try something new or try something on the side, we allow people to start part-time, right? And getting a license, like I said, study, get a license. You can even do that from home, right? The bottom 3 talks about concepts. So maybe you just want to learn how to save money, right? Or pay off debt. So whatever applies to you, you can write it down. And please be honest. Because we are only looking for people who are looking for us, only write it down if it does interest you. Okay, if nothing interests you today, at least I appreciate your time today. Hopefully you got to learn something new or something insightful. Okay, something you never thought about. All right. So once you have it done, I'll let the inviters know to reach out to you, hopefully in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes, to set up a follow-up session. And that way we can show you the next steps on what you would like to learn more about. All right. So I'll leave this screen on as I log off. I have another session to attend. And feel free to exit when you're done. So thank you very much for your time and enjoy the wonderful weekend. All right. Thank you. So let me just